I don't feel it is possible for me to be in a sexless marriage. And now my biggest concern is what's gonna happen.
Jasmine is issuing Gino with a very serious ultimatum. F me or lose me. If you don't put it in me soon, we're over. I want a divorce. Yeah, yeah, things are bad. Their marriage is literally hanging on by a thread. And judging by Gino's face, it doesn't look like he's willing to rise to the challenge.
Jasmine, you said that you will not be in a sexless marriage.
Absolutely not.
Have you given this relationship a timeline?
Yes.
The clock's ticking, Gino. She's serious. Isn't it funny how, out of all of their marital problems, the lying, the financial difficulties, the fact that she's thousands of miles away from her kids, it's this that's the hill Jasmine will die on. This is the straw that will break the camel's back. But before we dive into that, let's rewind to the start of the episode. So we left the pair mid-tell-all as Jasmine was revealing all the dirty little details about Gino's porn habits, and more specifically, the fact that he prefers watching videos of his ex, a sugar baby that he used to pay for, rather than actually getting down and dirty with his wife.
From all the pornography that you could consume in the world, why would you looking at her?
Gino has no answer to that question. He can't explain it, but importantly, he also doesn't deny it. So where does everyone stand on this issue? Asked Sean. Do you guys think that this is cheating? To which the overwhelming majority of the cast agree that it is.
That's considered cheating. 1,000,000%.
Absolutely.
Like, even nice guy Kobe, the guy who has not a bad word to say about anyone, can't defend Gino here. He puts his face in his hands and just sighs. But what makes Gino look the most guilty of all are the weirdly specific special occasions where Gino actually consumes this porn.
When was Gino watching the pornographic videos from his ex during his birthday and I was not in Michigan?
No.
Is there some significance to that? Like, is that some kind of birthday treat to himself? Is he choosing to relive those memories on his special day? Or is it just purely because his wife isn't there? I mean, even that, the fact that he chooses to watch this when his wife isn't around proves that he knows it's wrong, doesn't it? And his cousin Dana just joins Kobe in putting his face in his hands. Like, what can you even say to that? The guy's been caught red-handed. But it's at this point that Gino now starts taking issue to what's being said.
Gino, your porno's right there. Make your own.
For real.
Yeah.
Film yourself. She's gorgeous.
I'm not addicted to porn like she says I am.
Gino desperately attempts to convince the world that he's not addicted to porn. But, crucially, he misses Angela's point. Like, he's skirting around the issue. Why is it that you don't make love to your wife? Now, Angela continues by telling Gino that if he's not careful, he's gonna lose Jasmine. He's gonna lose her to someone that will have sex with her. So, should Gino be taking advice from Angela, of all people? Well, no, absolutely not. But at the same time, what she's saying here is correct. So what's the root issue here? Why do you have such a low libido? Gino gets asked. And it's Jasmine who provides a theory. He's lazy, she says.
So for Gino, the easiest path is to please himself. Like, I don't know if Gino is like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take so long.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps she's right. It would explain a lot, wouldn't it? It would explain why Gino flat out refuses to go back to work. It explains why he prefers to sit around fapping and playing fantasy football, even though he claims to be financially struggling. So yeah, maybe laziness is a factor. Maybe it's also because he's lazy that it took him months and months to complete Jasmine's residency forms. But the truth is, the way Gino's being is just creating this huge gap between husband and wife. And if he doesn't address it soon, then the marriage is over.
The way that I feel right now is that I'm a single person who's married.
Oh, goddamn son of a bitch. That's how
I'm
I
a
feel,
single
Jazz.
person who is married.
Swear to gosh.
Goddamn son of a bitch! Does anyone think that Angela relates to this? Yeah, she couldn't make it any more obvious, could she? But despite trying to make this about herself, this isn't your segment, Angela. There's 1,000,001 different, very, very different reasons why Michael doesn't want to sleep with her. Now, moving back to Jasmine, she tells the cast that it's not just sex. She feels her basic needs as a wife aren't being met. She doesn't feel seen or valued or appreciated by Gino. He shows literally zero affection, like forget sex. He doesn't even hug her, kiss her, he doesn't even touch her, ever. There's literally zero intimacy, zero affection, and Jasmine can't live like that.
I don't feel it is possible for me to be in a sexless marriage. And now my biggest concern is what's gonna happen.
Look, Jasmine and Gino haven't been intimate for 8 months. Jasmine's worry is that if left unchecked, that will just continue to grow and grow. Soon it will be a year, then 2 years, 3 years. Like one day Jasmine is worried she'll wake up and realise she's wasted years of her life, the best years of her life. Time she'll never be able to get back. And it's really difficult to argue with that, isn't it? For all her faults, she's never hidden the fact that sex is very, very important to her. If Gino can't give that to her, then she has to move on. She has no other choice. Sorry, but no one deserves to be miserable in a marriage. And it's very telling that everyone on that stage, including Gino's own relatives, are on Jasmine's side.
My needs are not taken into consideration whatsoever.
Why don't you just like put your feelings aside and do it?
I just can't.
You just hold her hand, show her affection, and make her feel special.
Jasmine must be loving the fact that this might be the first tell-all where she's not the one in the firing line. Like, she plays the role of sad housewife really well. So the question is, right, with all of these issues that she and Gino has, if she's so unhappy, why hasn't she left already? When will enough be enough for her, if it really is as bad as she's describing? Sean asks her. She asks her whether she's putting a timeline on things. And her response?
Yes, if in a short period of time I don't see that we start looking for help, I'm done. I'm done.
Look, we can talk over and over again until the cows come home about whether or not Jasmine is only with Gino for his money or for a green card, right? We've had this conversation 1,000,000 times before, but I think the most damning evidence here is that the people that really know Gino and Jasmine, the people that know them behind the scenes, Gino's closest family, not only side with Jasmine, but actively believe Gino's ruining, he's self-sabotaging his marriage. I mean, how many family members do we see come on the stage and sit on the fence or side with their own family? That's the typical response, right? But not from Gino's family. They're very, very clearly on Jasmine's side.
I know Jasmine wants it to work out.
I do.
know that she loves him to no end. Gino, you have to admit that there is a problem in order to fix it.
Like, from Dana and Michelle's perspective, they've literally seen Jasmine come crying to them when Gino's mistreated her. They know Gino's personality. They know he's financially restrictive and controlling. And Dana goes as far as to claim that every time he tries to talk to Gino about this, Gino just can't handle it.
But as soon as I say anything or anybody else says anything like, there it goes.
You're shaking your head already.
No, I've
didn't
agreed
realize
to a
you're
lot of
doing
what
it.
I've heard
Wait,
over here.
Gino really seems to be struggling with the fact that he could be the one ruining his own marriage. For so long, he was seen as the victim. It was Jasmine who was seen as the bad guy. But little by little, especially over the last few months, that narrative has significantly changed. But it's very interesting that Gino is being incredibly stubborn. He's dug his feet in the ground. His stance won't change. In fact, he wants Jasmine to take responsibility. It's her fault we don't have sex. It's her fault I don't want to be intimate with her, he says. She's always shouting she should be the one apologising to me. But unfortunately, especially after everything we've just learned, Gino's argument is falling flat on its face. He's not getting the validation he thinks he deserves.
And you have to be the man and stand up and say, this is it. Right now, we're moving forward.
Take a
No, I
stand.
can't do that when there's fights going on every day like
Then
that.
let her go.
Lauren tells Gino that if he can't change, then he's gonna need to learn to let Jasmine go. That's who she is, Gino. She hasn't changed. She's always been like that. You chose to marry her. If you can't accept her, the whole her, flaws and all, then you need to let her be with someone who does. And Dana adds to that. He tries to offer a sense of reassurance by telling Gino if he were to put in the tiniest bit of effort, any effort, then Jasmine will return that back. Things can get better if you put the effort in, he tries to reassure Gino.
And just know, Gino, that if you do put forth just the smallest amount of effort, I know Jasmine is willing to forget about everything and move forward and be happy.
But sadly, this pep talk, this encouragement, doesn't have the impact that they were hoping for. Gino responds by saying, I know, but it's very hard, it's very hard. And even more ominously, as Sean wraps up filming for the day, as she wishes Gino and Jasmine all the best and says she really hopes they can rediscover their love for each other, Gino's response to that doesn't really sound too positive.
See?
Yeah, that really didn't sound too encouraging from Gino, did it? It kind of feels like he may have already given up hope. Now, the sad thing is, whether it's because all of this advice has gone in one ear and out the other, or whether it's because Gino's just too stubborn to act on it, when filming ends for the day, Gino is preoccupied about how everyone is blaming him. He feels he's been hard done by. He feels like he's been personally attacked. And when they're backstage, sensing and seeing how annoyed Gino is, it's Jasmine who offers an olive branch. She desperately tries to reassure Gino that she loves him. She wants this to work. We just need to take baby steps, she says.
Gino, I love you. Let's forget about sex. Let's start.
Right, that's what I want trying to do. That's what I want to do.
Let's start on dates.
Yeah, something like that, yes.
And it actually gets even better. You see, they agree that they will sleep in the same bed tonight. No expectations, no pressure to have sex. Let's just start with the basics, Jasmine says. Let's just hug in the same bed. And Gino agrees. Yeah, I mean, it's humbling, but it's good that they're willing to strip their marriage back and start from square one. And as it turns out, starting from square one might be exactly what Gino needs. You see, later on that evening, as all of the cast are downstairs drinking and socialising, Thais tries to give Gino a helping hand. She encourages him to give Jasmine a kiss, and even though he obliges, this may well be the most awkward kiss ever broadcast on TV.
Can I see like a kiss?
Huh?
Can I see like a kiss?
Yeah.
Here we go. Y'all, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right, so if that's a taste of what intimacy with Gino is like, maybe it's for the best that they don't have sex. I don't know. Look, it's good to see that there is progress happening. We leave them in somewhat of a good place. They've at least got a roadmap, a starting point for rediscovering love and intimacy with each other. But the question still remains. What with Jasmine's anger never likely to change, and what with Gino still refusing to take responsibility? Have their issues really been solved? Or are we just papering over the cracks?